Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Blissfully Single Bean. I'm your homegirl Bean, or Beans for Easy, or just simply Sabine, and I'm your blissfully single one. If you're tuning in to my review of Ready to Love, the reunion part, I really appreciate every eyeball that is eyeballing this review. Before we get into that, we must toast. Now today I'll be sipping on some champagnes with a little splash of vodka. But we're toasting to Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders showed up to a whole inauguration like, listen, I got my mittens on, I got my a coat that I probably got from Burlington Coat Factory on. I'm crossing my legs. I'm chilling. I got to do what I got to do, and I'm going home. His energy is everything. He just has such a real energy. He's really the voice of the people. You know what I mean? And the disenfranchised. And listen, I got to give it up to Bernie and the viral meme. But Bernie, you are a true icon. So we are toasting to you, child. Some champagne and some vodkas. So I'm ready to love, Ready to Love, season 3, reunion part 2. And child, it was serving. So let's jump right on into it. All right, so the last part that we held off on, or where the episode cut off last week, is when Tommy was asking Jay and Joy what the status is. And surprise, surprise, these two are not together, and it does not surprise me. First of all, the body language didn't look like it was two people that were romantically involved. And Jay did explain that, well, Jay and Joy had the same explanation. After Joy's sister died, the energy shifted. And I definitely could understand that, because if I lose someone as significant as my sister, then being romantic in that kind of space is not something that I'm really checking for. And in fact, with me, when I lost my mother, I was dating my first boyfriend. Hey, E. By name, I was dating him, but we broke up very shortly after because I fell into a depression over losing my mother, and I didn't seek any therapy, or I didn't have any outlet. So I had these feelings of sadness, deep sadness and abandonment, and I had no place to put it to. So yeah, you can't have a relationship off of losing somebody as significant as a sister. So I totally get it. I get it. Then we go to the first two people that were eliminated. To tell you the truth, I do not remember Danny. I do remember she had like a really homegirl type of energy, and she owns that. She says, listen, I came here, and you know, the romantic connections that I should have made, it was really like a homegirl vibe. So listen, I'm cool with everything. But Sam, I do remember, and they chronicled his 2 seconds on the show, and come to find out, when Sam was booked for the show, Sam had a damn baby on the way, which makes me understand why he was so completely disconnected with the process. Sam wasn't even trying. It was a very awkward energy. Like, Sam's mind wasn't about, you know, finding love. His mind was at, I need to, you know, get the Similac and the Pampers money together. Like, child, please. But Sam explained he had to do what he had to do. So, you know, him being voted out first made a lot of sense to me. He didn't need to be there, no way. But I guess if you sign a contract, you sign a contract. All right, it is what it is. So now we focus on to Raymond. Now, Raymond was the musician. Was it Genuine and Tank? He was a musician for, yeah, I think it was Genuine and Tank. And he's the one with the 5 kids who doesn't believe in marriage. And I'm like, sir, at 50 years old, with 5 kids, and presumably 5 baby mothers, you are too damn old. Lord have mercy, my scale just came from Amazon. And I did not want Bastion to scare the guys away. Lord have mercy. Depending on what this number says, it's either I will continue on with my fitness and workout regimen, or I'm going to invest in a trainer. We'll see. If that scale is talking about some 1, 4, time to get help. So yeah, so Ray is the musician for what, Tank and Genuine, Ride It. But anyway, he's the 50-year-old with 5 kids with presumably 5 different baby mothers. And I'm pretty sure my assessment will be accurate. But it's the same kind of jive. They go over his experience on the show. Tommy asks a question. Tommy says, how do what makes you so scared about marriage? And Raymond says, I just don't understand. Like, if I'm with someone for 10 years, and I'm married, what difference does a piece of paper makes? And Tommy's like, no, there's a big difference between legally being married to somebody and living with your hoe for like 10 years. It's not the same thing. And Tommy, you are absolutely correct. Ray, with 5 kids at 50 years old, I would hope that you would reach some kind of growth where you would understand being shacked up with someone and being legally married is not the same thing. For once, a marriage is a legally binding contract that your state recognizes. Meaning, you can't wake up one day and decide you don't want to be in this situationship anymore. It's not a situationship. You are one. It ain't the same thing. God forbid you go into a concert for Genuine, you're on American Airlines, the plane blows up, your brain ends up all over the Atlantic. Meaning if you have a wife, if you are legally married, then she is entitled to be the benefactor. Being somebody's girlfriend for 10 years and being married is not the same thing. And the biggest reason why it's not the same thing is the commitment factor. I love you enough to share a life with you, and now the state and our federal government acknowledges that you two people are just not living together. You two are husband and wife. So for Ray to not understand the nuances between shacking up and being married, I'm like, Ray really doesn't need to be dating anybody. Oh, but however, we come to find out that Ray and Shay, the messy ass chef, they are a thing. They've been dating. And what's interesting about this revelation is that Shay owns it. Shay said, yeah, we've been dating, like we've been kicking it. And Ray's like, oh no, we've been hanging out. Shay's like, no, we ain't been hanging out. Shit wasn't platonic. I wasn't playing Sega Genesis with you. It was real dating. I cooked for you, nigga. I cooked for you. It was very telling that Ray was trying to downplay the romantic part of it, and Shay had to remind him, Shay, is this really a path that you are willing to embark upon? So we move on to Nia and Chris. And of course they play all the goings on for the season. And Chris was very shocked at Nia's comment about, Nia says, I was never interested in Chris. I was just obliging his interest. Chris says, that was like a gut punch. And Nia said, did I say that? Did I ever say that? Bitch, we saw that you said that. It was on TV. Run the tune back, DJ. So looking at this scene between Nia and Chris, I was so disgusted in how Nia never owned anything. Nia was still on her bullshit. Back up on my bullshit. Shout out to her. You know what I mean? And it's like, Nia, you need help. Nia, you need prayer. Nia, you need Jesus. You need the Holy Spirit. You need God the Father. You need every spiritual intervention that I can possibly think of. Reincarnation, Buddha, something. Because something is not sitting straight with Nia. But this is the first bombshell of the reunion, was come to find out Edwin and Nia have been hanging out. Lord, bumba, ras, clot, bumba, flyer. Miss, I mean, get mama. I'm trying to conjure up curses in different languages, but Jamaican patois, Haitian Creole is all I know, so. Edwin, why are you entertaining Nia? And the fuckery even gets deeper because Tommy says, are you currently dating Edwin? Nia says, we've dated. Tommy says, no. I said dating. Is there a romantic interest there? And then Naya says, we're seeing each other, but I'm seeing other people, and I'd be open to seeing Chris. Now, by this time, Chris is like, girl. But I'm like, Edwin, why? Edwin mentions that on his journey to self-improvement, that, he's keeping his options open, and, on his journey to self-care. Edwin, what kind of self-care are you seeking? Is it therapy? Because if you're seeking therapy and if you're receiving therapy, then I'm going to have to say that your therapist is worth about a bag of Doritos and a 25-cent juice at the local bodega. Because any therapist worth his or her salt would not lead you to the craziness and the darkness that is Naya. For you to be entertaining Naya and giving her any kind of time or day, it seems to me you have not been healed. And you need to heal before dating, because if you were healed, Naya would not be it. Timmy, come here. What's it called when a girl makes a guy look stupid? A simp? Naya's making Edwin look like a damn simp. That shit is not cool. Now we go to Rashid and Denise and the accusations of narcissism. Denise, of course, is still talking out of her ass, which that asshole must be quite large. And Denise says, listen, let me try to clear up what I tried to say. I mean, I'm talking about it like, this is my truth. And narcissism means A, B, C, and D. Rashid said, listen, this is all fine and good. And yes, I did have a conversation with Denise to try and clear everything up. But the point is, the narcissistic accusation is a very heavy one. And the fact that you put it out there to a group of women, I did not want, and it was offensive to me for narcissism to shape the way the other girls could have possibly looked at me. I said, Rashid is well spoken. Hey, Rashid. Bring Passion outside. So now Adriana jumps in, and Adriana says, well, Denise, you've made me feel inferior the whole time that I was there. Adriana, I don't think Denise made you feel inferior. She tried, but you got one up on her with that whole Kafani situation and the loop-de-loop reversey, if you know what I mean. They have a back and forth about disrespect. And what's interesting is that Denise tried to flex on Adriana, talking about, I'm from some street in Houston, bitch. So if you came at me, on my street, then it would have been popping. Adriana was like, well, I'm from such and such Houston. So what that mean, bitch? I said, ooh, I think Adriana about that life. But Tommy tries to break up the beef and squash the beef. And Denise was being fake. So Denise was like, oh no, I have no problem. I'm over it. We're cool. We can squash the beef. Adriana's like, yeah, no, we can't really squash the beef because we're two different people. And outside of the show, we wouldn't be friends. So it is what it is. And I'm like, Adriana, I respect the realness. That was that for that. Then we talk about another square, the Kafani, Adriana, Rashid, and Denise square. And I was waiting for that. Timmy, go. Now, Tommy asks Adriana what made her pull away from Rashid. And Adriana says, well, as soon as Rashid saw that I was really connecting with Kafani, he pulled away. Like there was a shift in energy and he wasn't fighting for me anymore. Meanwhile, Simone is back there snickering like, you are full of shit. Rashid said, of course I'm gonna pull away. I don't want myself to be in a situation where I go from courting you to chasing after you. And I did not want to be in that space. So of course you cannot blame me for, not being as interested as you as I once was when I see that you're connecting with somebody else. Again, Rashid, you make sense. You make the sense. Take him away so I can finish my review. Put him in the backyard. Now! So now Tommy shifts over to Kafani and Denise and going over their whole situationship. And Denise tries to, this is what annoys me about Denise with this whole reunion. Denise was fake the whole time. She wasn't authentic, and I don't like that. If you're gonna be a bitch, just own the bitchiness. And she did not do it. So Tommy asked her about, her situation with Kafani, and Denise is out here lying, talking about she wasn't jealous. Girl, you weren't jealous? Where? Where were you not jealous? Where? Denise is out here lying about, I knew this was a dating game, so I wasn't jealous of Kafani. I knew what it was. And Kafani was like, yeah, actions speak louder than words. And he's absolutely right. Because Denise, you can have that diarrhea of the mouth and claim you were not jealous of Kafani, hooking up with Adriana or connecting with Adriana. But your actions showed us otherwise. Denise, please stop it. Kafani goes on to explain that sometimes you cannot get a perspective of your life when you are looking from your vantage point. Sometimes it takes an outside party to kind of recognize exactly who you are. And I feel like Kafani was saying he was trying to let Denise, or make Denise understand exactly how possessive and how jealous she is, but she chose not to see it. And that was a real turnoff for Kafani. Kafani, I really don't believe you, but that point was on point. Now we go to Kafani and Adriana, because really, Tommy says now we saved the best for last. I'm looking at this show last night like, you mean the worst for last? Tommy, don't play with me. So they replay the whole Kafani and Adriana saga, and Denise's face is like, I agree with you too. This is the one time I agree with you, Denise, because yeah, I wasn't amused, So Tommy asked the question, where are you and Adriana right now? I hope this doesn't fuck up my video. So I'm sitting here like, I'm waiting, because judging by the body language, I know they not together, and I said that in my last review, so what up though? So Adriana says, when the show was over and then we got back to Houston, Kafani called me and he said he wanted to have dinner with me, and he explained to me that his ex came back into the picture, and so since his ex gets along with his kids, he thinks it would be better to pursue his ex and not me. I said, wait, so bitch, you sat here, you dumped Rashid to be with Kafani and them supersized muscles only for him to turn around and dump you for his ex. I cackle. I'm wheezing. I need a drink. Lord have mercy. If that's not karma delivering when it's supposed to deliver. The fact that Adriana chose Kafani over Rashid, that's the karma part. That's the fucked up energy that you put out in the atmosphere that comes right back to you. And that's exactly how it went down. It was fucked up for Adriana to pick Kafani over Rashid, because everybody saw that between Kafani and Rashid was the one that really loved Adriana. So for Adriana not to see that, pick Kafani for Kafani to only dump her ass for the ex. It was excellent. It was everything I needed. I loved it. Big ups, Rashid. Big ups. Now, for the record, I do not believe Kafani's story. Kafani's story is bullshit. He says he came home and he found a post-it or a note attached to his door. First of all, it's 2021? 2020? 2021. 2021. Your ex does not have a cell phone? No posting on the door? That was fake. Listen, to me, it seems as if Kafani already had this situation with the ex, or ex. The ex said, listen, go do what it do. Go have your fun on the TVs. I will be here waiting for you. As soon as Calfani had his fun with Adriana for the few weeks they were on the Houston resort. And trust and believe, Calfani beat. Adriana is not smart enough to keep them legs closed until she locks down what it is to lock down. So Calfani got exactly what he needed from Adriana. And as soon as we wrap, Calfani is like, I am going back to the woman with substance who I actually love. Adriana, Calfani played the shit out of you. He played you, sis. But girl, it wasn't easy to play you. You got the IQ of a damn turnip. Woo! Tommy asked Rashid, now that Adriana is single, would you consider being with her? And Rashid does start off in saying, listen, I have no ill feelings towards Adriana. And he's talking, and Adriana's having this side conversation. This vapid ass, disrespectful, shallow, obtuse ass bitch is having a conversation with Calfani while Rashid is trying to express himself. And that doesn't sit well with Tommy, because Tommy's looking over at Adriana like, what are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? Tommy said, did you even hear what Rashid was trying to say? And Adriana said, oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Adriana, your simple ass will be single. Girl, this blissfully single girl here will find somebody to love, marry her, take care of her 2 kids before you will ever get a date with a real man. Tommy's annoying. Tommy says, listen, this is a dating game. You have to be engaged in the process. And Adriana, you're not engaged in the process. And when Tommy shames her a little bit, she's like, she finally listens. Oh, Adriana, you and that dome-shaped forehead of yours. Girl, it's a no. Rashid finishes up what he has to say. Basically, we're like 2 different people. And Rashid, you and Adriana are two different people. Rashid, you're an adult. You're an adult. You're an adult. And quite frankly, Adriana is not good enough for you. I know a lot of times we see people, we get infatuated by them, or we become enamored by them, and we want them to fit what we are. Adriana does not fit what Rashid is, because quite frankly, Rashid is a better person. Rashid has a lot more depth to him. Rashid is well-spoken. Rashid is intelligent. Rashid is a different kind of man. But they wrapped, and then you see a Calfani taking Adriana to the side and saying, listen, no hard feelings. You know, I don't want you to think this connection was never real. Calfani, if your connection was in fact genuine with Adriana, then your ex popping up would not have been an issue. The ex could have popped up and would have said, and you could have been like, you know what? I'm good, love, enjoy. I found this amazing woman named Adriana, and I want to spend the rest of my life with her. The fact that maybe a week after taping, you found yourself back with the ex is the very definition of you and Adriana not having a solid connection. And Adriana, I'm laughing. I'm delighting in your heartbreak. And I'm hoping that your heartbreak is a sincere heartbreak, because you deserve it. And the reason why I'm digging into Adriana's ass like that is because girls like Adriana frustrate me. Calfani, anybody can find a Calfani. A good-looking guy with muscles, anybody can find that. A good-looking guy who will pass the time with you. But when a real woman that he loves and appreciates comes back into his life, he's going over there in that direction. And what frustrates me about Adriana is that Rashid is not the typical guy. Rashid is the diamond in the rough that Adriana's cubic zirconia mind cannot understand. Rashid is the diamond. Rashid is the nigga you really can't find out here in this world. A nice guy who's been through some shit, who wants to find a woman that loves you. The nice guys, the nice black men who want to love you and scoop you up and envelop you in their love. It's like, Adrian, you dumb as hell. You are dumb as hell. Because you're looking at Kalfani as the prize when, honestly, Rashid was the diamond in the rough. Rashid is the type of guy that you don't find. Rashid is the type of guy, when I went to college, I was looking for. But I always found the opposite. You know what I mean? Rashid, you'll be okay. You will be okay, because at the end of the day, Rashid's spirit is pure. And Adriana is going to age. She's only 32, but the looks don't last forever. So Adriana is going to age, and Adriana will always be single because her values do not lie in anything aside from the muscles. The muscles. That was a great season of Ready to Love. It really was a great season. It was ghetto. It was ghetto. And the reason why I say it was ghetto is because the casting, whoever is in charge of the casting, they need a better vetting process. And I say this because you need singles who are genuinely single, because you have so many people on this cast who are either pregnant or expecting a baby from another woman. Like, the casting process was just like, it kind of seems like, the casting directors, like, they just wanted good TV, but they really weren't looking for people who are genuinely single and ready to love. And that was whack to me, because I feel like if you go through the vetting process and you really look for single people, and not people just waiting to be on TV with the whole other situations going on, you know what I mean? Then it would make for more authentic TV. So that's all I would say. It was a good season, but I need the casting directors to really step it up. And who casted Denise? Like, Denise was here for doom and gloom. Like, whoever casted Denise was just here for the chaos, the fury, the dark clouds, the tornadoes, the hurricanes. Child, casting needs some work, but child, I was thoroughly enjoyed. I love the bombshells. I love the fact that Adriana's huge forehead was cracked with embarrassment. You deserve it, Adriana. Rashid. All right, that's it, guys. Ready to Love. It is over. It is a wrap. It was a good season. And my reviews will start next week, because Love and Marriage Huntsville is back up on the scene. Team Mel, whatever. All right, guys. Love you guys for watching. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And please check me next week with Love and Marriage Huntsville. Peace out. Peace out. Love you guys. Bye.